They say country music is the soul of America, a hymn born in the dust, raised in whiskey, and baptized under neon lights. But behind every golden guitar and every trembling verse about heartbreak and freedom, there's a story that smells less like authenticity and more like perfume sprayed over decay. Being a country singer in the United States used to mean singing for the people. Now it means being consumed by them. Once the song spoke about men who worked the fields and women who prayed by the window. Now they were written by executives who've never seen a barn but know precisely how pain should sound when it's auto-tuned to perfection. The modern country singer lives in a world where sadness has a marketing department. They no longer suffer, they perform suffering. Every tear, every broken heart, every line about God and whiskey is crafted not for redemption, but for engagement. Their guitars aren't instruments anymore, they're props for a ritual of nostalgia. The audience doesn't want truth, it wants a simulation of it. The old, rugged voice that once came from the soul now comes from a sound engineer, software, perfectly tuned to echo heartbreak without ever feeling it. The industry has become a cathedral of counterfeit emotions, and the country singer its obedient priest. He stands there in boots polished enough to blind you under the stage light, singing about poverty while his manager negotiates brand deals with luxury whiskey companies backstage. His song says he's just a simple man, but his belt buckle costs more than the monthly rent of the people he claims to represent, and the crowd loves it. They cheer not because they believe him, but because they want to believe there's still something pure left to hold on to. Country music, once a lament of the working class, has become its lullaby, soothing, rhythmic, and safe enough to sell during halftime commercials. Every verse must sound like a confession, but not too much. Authenticity sells, but scandal ruins partnerships. The singer knows this. He knows exactly how to cry on cue, how to tilt his hat when he mentions mama, and how to lower his voice just enough when he says freedom, that sacred word the audience wants to feel more than understand. The irony, of course, is that there's nothing free about it. Freedom is scripted now. Even rebellion needs a sponsor. And so, night after night, our beloved troubadour climbs onto a stage built not of wood and sweat, but of metrics and lighting design. The spotlight falls like judgment, and he begins his sermon. The crowd sways, phones raised like candles. He sings about heartbreak and the audience replies with emojis. He talks about loss and they reply with likes. He thanks Jesus and a digital cross flashes somewhere on the screen. Somewhere between the encore and the sponsored hashtag, the sacred becomes profane and nobody notices. But who could blame him? The industry demands sacrifice. He's told that success requires connection, though what they mean is compliance. His label tells him which words resonate in Texas, which chords convert better in Tennessee. Even his sadness must be approved. Make it hurt, they say, but make it catchy. He doesn't own his pain anymore. It's licensed, distributed, and optimized for streaming platforms. When he smiles on stage, it's not joy, it's survival. The cowboy hat isn't identity, it's armor. Behind that soft southern drawl lies a man terrified of irrelevance. The same crowd that worships him tonight will forget his name by next summer, when a newer, younger, slightly rougher voice appears. Just authentic enough to be believable, but polished enough to be profitable. The machine never stops. It devours sincerity and spits out product. Country music has always been about heartbreak. Now it's just eating its own heart, and yet the tragedy is almost beautiful. There's something poetic about watching an art form pretend to be alive. The singer strums his guitar as if exorcising ghosts, but the only spirit in the room is the echo of what used to be real. He looks into the crowd, thousands of faces glowing in artificial light, and sings about solitude. They sing back. Both sides pretending they're connected, while in truth, both are desperately alone. The audience wants to believe he's one of them. He wants to believe he still is. But fame has a way of burning bridges and calling it sunlight. Sometimes, late at night, after the tour buses have stopped moving and the world forgets his name for a few hours, he stares at the hotel ceiling and remembers the boy he used to be. The one who sang barefoot on a porch, not for applause, but for air. That boy is gone now, traded for fame, relevance, and a blue checkmark. In its place remains a silhouette, smiling, tired, endlessly rehearsed. He tells himself it's worth it. Everyone does at first. And perhaps that's the cruelest truth of all. The dream didn't die. It just started charging admission. Every kid with a cheap guitar and a trembling voice still looks up at the stars, imagining themselves under the neon lights of Nashville, singing about heartbreak and glory. They don't see the contracts, the pills, the exhaustion, the quiet humiliation of pretending to believe your own lyrics. They only see the applause. They don't know that applause is the loudest silence there is. It fills the room while hollowing you out. The country singer is America's favorite illusion. A man who sells sincerity by the pound, wrapped in denim and faith. He sings about home, though he hasn't had one in years. He praises simplicity while living inside a fortress of management teams and media consultants. His songs are hymns for the lost, written by the powerful to make sure they stay that way. Every line about working hard keeps the machine running, and every hallelujah keeps the crowd docile. It's not rebellion, it's ritual. The audience claps, the lights fade, and the singer bows. Somewhere deep inside, he feels a crack, that tiny reminder that he's become what he once despised. But he smiles because that's the rule. In this world, sincerity is only valuable when it's photogenic. He knows the next show awaits, the next interview, the next confession, perfectly timed for morning television. There's always another stage, another crowd, another illusion to maintain. And so, the legend continues. They'll call him a hero of the heartland, a voice of the people, a true American poet. But he knows better. He knows that poetry died the day the melody started obeying algorithms. That freedom is now a costume, and faith just another verse to fill the bridge. He knows that his legacy will be measured not in meaning, but in streams. And deep down, he suspects that one day, when the lights finally go out, nobody will remember the man. Only the brand. Still, he'll sing. Because what else can he do? The stage has become his confessional, his punishment, and his home. Every song is a prayer he no longer believes in, every applause a reminder that he can't stop now. He's trapped in the melody, a ghost haunting his own chorus. And the crowd, oh, the crowd, they'll keep coming. They'll wear cowboy hats made in China, drink imported beer, and sing along to an anthem that once belonged to them. They'll cry when he cries, laugh when he smiles, and post about real music on their glowing screens. They'll say it feels authentic, and maybe it does. After all, illusions only work when we want them to. In the end, the country singer will fade, not in disgrace, but in applause. He'll retire to a quiet ranch, far from the noise, where he'll finally have time to feel the silence he's been selling all these years. Maybe he'll write one last song, a real one this time, about the price of being loved by strangers and forgotten by himself. But no one will hear it. The world will have moved on to another voice, another illusion, another dream. And when his name flashes across the news years later, framed in black and white, they'll play one of his old hits, the one about freedom, or faith, or love. People will hum along, nostalgic for a time that never really existed. The melody will drift through living rooms, supermarkets, and car radios, and for a brief moment, America will believe once again that somewhere out there, someone still sings the truth. But the truth is quieter than that. It doesn't play on the radio anymore. It hides in motel rooms, in the trembling hands of those who still write songs that no one wants to hear. The ones who sing without sponsors, without filters, without applause. They'll never fill stadiums. But in the silence between their verses, you can almost hear what country music used to be. Not entertainment, but confession. And perhaps that's the irony that completes the circle. The genre built to honor simplicity has become the grandest theater of all. The singer, once a voice of the people, is now their distraction. The heart he swore to open has become a brand. The faith he invoked is now a melody sold to the highest bidder. Yet, beneath all the glitter and lights, there's still a faint echo of something real, small, fragile, and almost forgotten, whispering through the static. That's why it sucks to be a country singer in the United States. Because somewhere between the porch and the penthouse, between the prayer and the paycheck, between the dream and its marketing campaign, the soul got lost. And all that remains is the show.